Good morning everyone, myself Sanjay Kumar. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss about DC motors. Up to now we discussed about DC generators, working principle of generators and characteristics, critical field resistance, critical speed and demagnetizing, cross magnetizing, calculation of ampere turns. Now all these comes under DC machines. So DC machines. Now what is meant by machine? Machine may be a motor or generator. Machine may be a motor or generator, and a DC machine can act as a motor or generator. It can act as a same motor acts as a generator, same generator acts as a motor, just the mechanical energy converted into electrical energy. It can act as a generator. If you supply the electrical energy, you connect the mechanical load, it acts as a motor. We know that generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy, whereas motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. We know already generator working principle, that is generator works on the principle of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. When a conductor placed in a magnetic field, when flux cuts it, EMF will be induced in that conductor. Now what is motor working principle? It converts electrical to mechanical energy, but what is the working principle? Working principle of DC motor. So first we'll discuss the working principle. Now what is the working principle of DC motor? Now the basic working principle of DC motor, when a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. Okay, so what is that? When a current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field, it experiences the force. Okay, it experiences the force. Now how it experiences the force, what is the reason, that we'll discuss in working. Okay, so if we have the north pole and if you have the south pole, when a conductor is placed in a magnetic field, when the flux cuts it, EMF will be induced, that is generator formula. But this conductor already having the current, that means it is already carries the current, so that indicates current carrying conductor. So in generator it is only conductor, but now it is current carrying conductor. So what happens if you place a current carrying conductor? It is also having some magnetic field. So whereas in normal conductor like generators, only conductor is placed, so the flux cut the conductor, but here it is a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. It experiences a force, nothing but this main field flux, that means the flux flowing from north pole to south pole, may pull the conductor in either direction. It may going for forward direction or reverse direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending upon this current in the conductor. So what is the working principle of DC motor? When a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. It should experiences a force means it is going to pull out from the, it going to push from the actual place, so that it starts rotating. The rotation is going to be started. Now, which direction it is rotating? What is the reason for the direction? That we will discuss one by one. That is, first we will discuss how you determine the direction of motor rotation, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. What is the direction of current? Similar to generators, so in generators the direction of induced EMF, the direction of rotation is determined by Fleming's right hand rule. Now, similarly in DC motors we are having the Fleming's left hand rule. So by using Fleming's left hand rule we can determine which direction your DC motor is rotating, if you know the current and if you know the direction of flux. Let us see what is the Fleming's left hand rule. Now Fleming's left hand rule similar to Fleming's right hand rule. So Fleming's right hand rule used for generators, Fleming's left hand rule used to motors. So Fleming's left hand rule. Okay. So in Fleming's left hand rule also we are using the three fingers, that is thumb, forefinger and middle finger. Okay, so thumb, middle finger and forefinger. So by stretching three fingers perpendicular to each other, by stretching three fingers perpendicular to each other, so the direction of thumb, and the direction of forefinger and the direction of middle finger shows, we can write here stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger perpendicular to each other. Now I am stretching thumb, forefinger and middle finger perpendicular to each other. Now the thumb indicates, now you can see here thumb can be written as thumb. Now I am making M as a capital, nothing but motion of the conductor, nothing but in which direction the motor is rotating, anti-clockwise or some other direction. Next, forefinger, this is a 4. Now this F capital stands for field direction. You can also call it as a flux direction, in which direction the flux is moving. Now similarly the last one is middle finger can be written as I. So I stands for current. In our electrical engineering, I we can denote as a current. So direction of current. Now we will elaborate how Fleming's left hand rule determines the direction of rotation. Assume this is a north pole and this is a south pole, and the flux is flowing from north pole to south pole. Now in this, if you place a conductor having current I inwards and this conductor current is outwards. Now what is the direction of this conductor with respect to Fleming's left hand rule? We know that Fleming's left hand rule, so the middle finger indicates direction of current, forefinger indicates field direction, and this will determine the direction of rotation, that is motion of conductor. Now I am placing, so first I am saying the first conductor, this is 1 and this is 2. Now for first conductor the flux direction is same as your forefinger direction, and this current is entering. We know that current entered is dot and cross indicates current leaving. So this current is entering nothing but, so I have to indicate inwards direction. So I am placing my middle finger inwards. Okay, now this is inwards and flux direction is same. Now you see that force on this conductor is downwards. Now this conductor, first conductor, is try to move downwards direction. Now similarly go for the second conductor, the current is outwards and the direction of flux is same. So I am taking middle finger is outwards, the flux direction is parallel to north pole to south pole. Now see, the force is now upward direction. So this conductor is trying to move upward direction. Now this direction. Now see, if you combine these two, this conductor is rotating anti-clockwise direction. So the direction of rotation is anti-clockwise rotation. This motor is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Now if you change the direction of currents, let us see. If you change the direction of currents, now this is north pole and this is south pole, the flux is flowing from north pole to south pole. Again I am considering a conductor. Now conductor 1 is current is outwards and conductor 2 current is inwards. Now see, is there any change in the motor direction rotation? So you can see here, now the conductor 1 current is outwards, flux direction is same. So similarly the current is, the flux direction is parallel to north pole to south pole and this middle finger indicates current is outwards. Now what is the force affecting on first conductor? Now this is moving upward direction. So this conductor 1 is moving upward direction. So that means from down to upward. So like this. Now see the conductor 2, similar to previous conductor 1, the current is entering. Now if the current is entering and flux direction is north pole to south pole, now this will be the representation. Now see, the current is entering, shown by middle finger, and the forefinger shows flux direction and the direction of force, so motion of conductor is downwards. Now like this. Now what is the total rotation? Now this total rotation will be like this. Now this is clockwise direction and this is counterclockwise direction. Now the direction of current changes, the rotation is, and the direction of rotation will be determined by Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule used to determine the direction of rotation or motion of the conductors in DC motors. We will discuss what is the working of DC motor by using Fleming's left hand rule. So we know that DC motor works on the principle of when a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force, and that force direction this DC motor rotates. Now consider a north pole and a conductor cross placed in the side of this north pole, and you see the north pole, always the flux is flowing from north pole to south pole near here. So when the flux flow from north pole to south pole, this conductor current entering into this plane. So you know that the cross indicates the current is entering into the plane, whereas dot indicates current is leaving from the plane. Now when the current is entering from this plane, the direction of flux, the current carries, the current flux direction is given by like this. We know that right hand thumb rule, the current is entering in this direction, so the flux is rotating in clockwise direction. Now if you divide this flux lines into two halves, now I am showing here again. So this is the conductor, it is dot, and I am dividing these flux lines into, some of the flux lines are, now I am dividing this half section right hand side. See the flux direction, this conductor flux and the main field flux is same direction. so which strengthens the flux. Right hand side of the conductor, all the flux lines are try to strengthen the main flux. Now left hand side you can see the flux direction is downwards and this flux is opposing this conductor flux opposing this one. Now which will weakens the main field flux. Now right hand side is the flux is strengthening and left hand side this conductor flux is going to weakening. Now is the case, so the force direction will be like this as per Fleming's left hand rule. So why this direction of force, this conductor is coming this direction, you can see you can apply the Fleming's left hand rule. So the direction of flux is downwards and this current is entering, so this conductor is moving into left hand side. Now this force direction drive the DC motor into a one direction, so the direction DC motor starts to rotate. Okay, now we will elaborate this. Now assume this is the DC motor half section, so conductors under north pole carries the entering currents, whereas conductors under south pole carries the dots, nothing but current is leaving from that plane. Now current is entering into this section, so the flux is flowing from north pole to south pole, which is placed opposite to the north pole. Now in this case, so what is happening when the flux is flowing through these conductors over the conductors, so this conductor experiences a force as per motor working principle. When a conductor placed in a magnetic field, since it is a, if you close this, so we are having a somewhere here south pole, so the flux is flowing from here north pole to south pole. So this flux in this magnetic field you placed a conductor, in this magnetic field you placed a conductor. So what is the force experienced by this conductor? Now if you see this conductor and one north pole and south pole, I take a side, you can see here. Now this is the north pole and this is the conductor cross, and this is the flux flowing over this, and this is the south pole where placed here. Now the flux is flowing from north pole to south pole over this. Okay, now the conductor under north pole, so conductor under north pole having the entering current. So if it is entering current, so what is the direction of force acting on this conductor is given by Fleming's left hand rule. You see, place your forefinger towards the field direction and the current is entering. Suppose under the north pole, we can take out south pole. Suppose this is the current entering into north pole. Now you can see the direction of force is downwards. That means this conductor alone force is in this direction. Okay, that means this conductor is trying to downwards direction. This conductor is moving try to downwards direction from this. So the force direction is like this. The force direction is going try to downwards. If the flux is in this direction, since the conductor, the flux is in this direction, you placed here, this is the entering current and this is the flux direction. Now the direction of this conductor will be like this. That means it is inclined, so the force line is also somewhat inclined. And the second conductor is also similar to the first conductor. The direction of flux is same and the current is entering. Now what is the flux and what is the direction of force? Again it is also trying to move in this direction. Now similarly, up to this crosses, all the conductors in this north pole region all are try to move this direction. So that means from this pole to this pole. So this direction of rotation will be up for the north pole will be like this. Now consider the south pole side. So south pole you are having the dots. Okay, south pole you are having the dots. You can see here south pole you are having the dots here, and the flux is entering into this. Okay, now this I am trying to show this one. So the flux is going from north pole to south pole like this. So what happens here when you are getting the poles flux like this? Now this is the leaving current. The current is leaving from this section. Now in this section what happens? The flux direction is like this and the current is leaving. Now what is the force effect on this conductor? You place here field flux line, and this middle finger shows current and this shows force is upward direction. So this conductor is trying to move upward direction. Okay, so this conductor is trying to move upward means, so this is upward and in this direction. Similarly, this conductor is also in this direction, this conductor is also in this, and again in this. So like this, the poles will rotate the conductors with respect to their flux as well as from the conductors entering currents and leaving currents. Now the resultant flux direction will be different, but the conductor under each pole will experiences the force. So total force will drive a one unidirectional torque. Okay, so this total conductors will rotate in a unidirectional way. So go for different conductors in this region also, they will also experiences the force. So this force total collectively in the direction of counterclockwise direction. So the basic idea of DC motor rotation in the counterclockwise direction, when north pole conductors, the conductors under north pole are crosses, the conductors under south pole are dots, so that the resultant flux will create a torque in the unidirectional way. So this DC motor starts rotating and the mechanical load will be driven by this DC motors. Now this is the basic working of DC machine, and the direction of force is always determined by Fleming's left hand rule. Similar to DC generators, so this DC motor generates a torque, that means it produces a torque in unidirectional, so which will rotate the DC motor in counterclockwise direction. So that means each conductor force collectively produces a resultant torque. So this term is related to motors, whereas in generators we will discuss the generated EMF. Okay, so EMF is generated in armature conductors. Here also we are generating the EMF when you apply the voltage current to it, but the total collectively experiences a torque, which is a mechanical phenomena. So the output of your DC motor is mechanical. You are connecting a load, a shaft extension for this motor, so that mechanical load is driven by DC motor. So that's why the output of DC motor is a torque measured in Newton meters. So this torque will determines what is the capacity of this DC motor, at what speed it will run the machine DC motor with respect to the efficiency. So at the load conditions, the torque, armature current, speed characteristics are studied. Okay, we will discuss them later, but the output of DC motor is related to a torque parameter. So that's why necessary to study the torque parameter and their characteristics in next classes. Now the torque will drive the DC motor in clockwise direction, but what is the force driving these conductors in unidirectional way? So that force we can call it as a Lorentz force. Okay, that force is called as Lorentz force. So given by that force is equal to B into I into L. So this is the force acting on each conductor. So what is B? B is nothing but where B is the flux density and I is the current and L is the length of conductor. I is the length of conductor. So flux density, current and length of the conductor. So total product will gives the force. That means what is the length of actual conductor and multiplied by the current carried by the conductor, and what is the flux density. So how much flux we already discussed. Some of the flux lines are opposing and some of the flux lines are strengthening the main field flux. So the resultant flux density on each conductor so totally determines the force. So this much force is affecting on conductor, so which drives the motor into unidirectional way and which gives the torque parameter, that is Newton meter. So this force is given by BIL. If this force also given in terms of angle BIL into sine theta, where theta is the inclination. If the conductor is inclined from the main field, so that will be in terms of theta, so it is given by sine theta terms. So if theta will be higher, so that force will be maximum. You can see here if theta is 90 degrees, so the total force will be maximum, that is given by BIL. So with respect to this formula, each conductor will experience a force, that force called as Lorentz force, and it is given by BIL. Now this, if the conductor is inclined from the magnetic field, that means main field flux, the angle is theta. If theta is increases, then maximum force will be experienced by this conductor. The conductor rotates in the counterclockwise direction. So again, DC motors, we have to discuss about the torque parameters, voltage, current, generated EMF equations. So then we'll go for the characteristics of DC motors.